Good morning. Today we're going to start with our new series of videos answering the questions that we typically get on our website or over the phone in regard to our products. Today the focus is going to be in our SealGreen Concrete Sealer Concentrate with Solid Defense technology. And the first question that we have here is the customer is asking about how long can he have to wait before he has to drive his car into the garage after he has applied our sealer on the concrete. Well, typically what we're looking for is for the concrete to look dry. So as soon as you apply it, maybe an hour or two, depends on the weather and the temperature, it will dry very fast. Once the surface is dry, you can drive. Do not stop on the driveway, just drive it from the street to your garage. One of the things that we want to make sure is that for the period of 8 hours after you have applied our sealer, there is no rain or water on the driveway because the chemistry is taking place at that time and we don't want to interrupt that in those areas. But you can drive onto your garage as soon as the whole surface looks dry in that piece. So that's kind of the rule that we follow, 8 hours after application in those areas. Okay. The next question that we have here is this. Okay. I will have a patio that was installed 4 years ago. I want to put a penetrating sealer. But I believe I had some there. The surface good. Okay. Yeah. I guess I understand that the coming from the customer. He had a patio installed 4 years ago. They put some sealer on it. The sealer apparently after 4 years is gone. And he now wants to apply our SealGreen Concrete Sealer, penetrating sealer. Well, the first thing you need to do in this scenario is to test the concrete, add a little water on it. And if the concrete gets dark immediately, then you can go ahead and apply a sealer. If it doesn't do that, that means some of the old sealer is still there. Now, beware one thing is that sealers, as they get old, they don't just disappear all evenly throughout the whole concrete. In some areas, they disappear faster than others. So you have to wet the whole thing and see if you have any areas that it looks like it's still the sealer's still working there. So that's the first test you want to do. Then the next thing you want to do is that after 4 years, you definitely want to watch the surface. We have the SealGreen oil cleaner degreaser or our SealGreen driveway cleaner. Either one of those will clean the driveway real well to be able to put our sealer in place. Now, this is not a stripper. This is just a cleaner for dirt and that kind of stuff that will happen in this area. After the concrete is dry, you will go ahead and apply our SealGreen Concrete Sealer, which is a penetrating sealer reactive, and it with Solid Defense technology, and then wait hours before you drive on it or do anything to it in that part. Not drive on it, but you can walk and drive on it as soon as it's dry, but wait 8 hours before you put any water on that concrete. So that's the answer to that customer. No problem. Hello. The next one is this. They poured a new pad last week, and he wants to clean it and using a hose and then apply our sealer. Yep, that's probably fine. The only thing we ask you is to wait 7 days after the installation of the concrete. Concrete on the standard in the industry is to wait 30 days for the full concrete to cure, which means is that as the concrete cures after the installation, it gets hard from the outside to the inside. So if you could dig a hole in it, you would see that potentially after a week or two, the inside may still be humid, but the outside is dry and hard. If that's not the case, you have a problem with the concrete that I installed. But anyway, let's assume that everything went fine. After 7 days, you can wash it, rinse it off. You want to do that even though it's brand new, because when concrete cures, it creates a little dust on it, and that dust, we want to remove that. You can use a hose, you can use a cleaner, you can use a pressure washer. Just be careful not to damage the surface of the concrete. And then you let it dry, and then you apply our SealGreen Concrete Sealer with Solid Defense technology as we have explanations. At the end of this video, we'll show you where to go get this information as well in that part. So the next question here is from the customer. He has been using our ice melt for a long time. He's thinking of maybe now sealing his concrete. Well, I think it's kind of reverse here. He should have sealed his concrete a long time ago and then use the ice melt. And the reason for that is that ice melt melts, no matter if it's ours or anybody else's brand. What happens is in the content of ice melt, there's chemicals that melt the water. Then the water absorbs into the concrete. The water freezes inside the concrete. And then when it freezes, expands and compresses. And that's where the damage of the concrete occurs. So the first thing that we always ask you to do is to go ahead and seal your concrete first before you apply any ice melt on top of it. Now, we do sell an ice melt. It's called a SealGreen Snow and Ice Melt Remover, and it is a man-made product. It has a little bit of salt just to get the initial chemical going, but after that it has what they call CMA, which is calcium, magnesium, and acetate in it, and that is designed not to damage your concrete, and is very efficient. In the amount, when you buy a box of 50 pounds, it covers quite a bit for multiple applications, and it doesn't refreeze for until minus 28 degrees, which is good because we don't have a lot of areas here in the United States where the temperature drops below minus 20 degrees constantly to freeze the water inside of it. But if you seal your driveway, the sealing is going to prevent a lot of the water getting into the concrete. So even if you melt it with an inexpensive snow and ice melt, it should not damage your concrete because there's less water penetration into the concrete with a sealer. So that's one recommendation we have. So we recommend in this case our snow melt, and then we recommend first to seal it and then use the snow melt in that area. Okay. The next question we have, they install a new driveway on the sidewalk, and they need to install seal the concrete. They were told by the installer to seal the concrete. They have approximately 21 square feet of new concrete, and they want to protect it. Well, very simple. We recommend the SealGreen Concrete Cleaner for this to clean the concrete because it's been freshly installed. Wait 7 days, as we recommend, before you apply our sealers, and then after that go wash it, let it dry, and then apply the sealer. Once you apply the sealer, wait 8 hours before you put any water on top of it or park a car. You can drive on it as long as the surface looks dry into a garage, but we don't want you to park there in this concrete because sometimes some dry cars will drop water from their air conditioner, and that can affect the chemistry that is taking place during that 8-hour period. So that's basically what this customer needs to do, and then he will be corrected. Now, after he applies our sealer, we also recommend, the sealer has a 20-year life, so you can apply the sealer and not do anything for 20 years, and it will still be there. Even if you chemically do a test for it, you will see that our sealer is still there active. Now, what happens to concrete over a period of time is that it does wear out because you're shoveling snow, walking, or whatever you're doing, and some pores open that were not available when you originally applied the sealer. So we do recommend to come back every 4 or 5 years and do a very light application of our sealer. We do have a version of our concrete sealer. You cannot apply the original one because it will be too much for the concrete. You need to apply what we call the maintenance version of our concrete sealer. If it's 4 or 5 years. If you do that, your concrete will stay looking like new. We've been doing this for 18 years, and I still get a chance to see sometimes some of the older ones that they were sealed when they're brand new, man, and they still look really good at this point in time in that area. A lot of protection there. Okay, another question that came up was they poured a concrete last Saturday, and they want to know if they should use the snow melt on top of it. Well, it's kind of already answered this question. We always recommend before you start using snow melt on top of your new concrete, you should seal it. And the benefit of our product is you can seal it as early as 7 days after the installation, which is really good because then you can use a snow melt on top of it and protect the concrete. The reason why many concrete installers tell you not to put anything on it is because the problem is that if the installation is not that great, or something happened during the installation period, it may have a weak surface. And when you put any type of snow or ice melter on top of it, they do melt the water. It does go in the concrete. It does freeze inside of it. It does expand and breaks, and sometimes breaks the surface. And then the concrete installation guy says, no, it was not my fault. It was the ice melter you used. And then you point back and the finger pointing starts. So the best policy to do is, if you have brand new concrete and you want to seal it and protect it, use our SealGreen Concrete Sealer, applicable 7 days after the installation, and then you can use snow melt a little safer than if you just put it straight on top of it on a concrete that's not been sealed. So that's a recommendation with that part. Okay, one more question, and this is a very common one that we get. Customers have wood decks on top of their patios, concrete patios, and sometimes as they're restaining the wood deck, they do spill the stain or drip stain into the concrete, and it permanently stains the concrete. Unfortunately, wood stain was meant to do that. It was meant to be a penetrating chemical because the wood needs to absorb the stain so it stays inside and protects the wood. So when it falls in the concrete, concrete absorbs as well, and it penetrates into the concrete as well. So unfortunately, this customer had not sealed his concrete, therefore the stain became very permanent. Sometimes when you seal the concrete, depends on the stains out there, and there's many of them, they will not penetrate very deep into it, and sometimes you have ways to clean it up easily with no issues. But if that is not the case, what I always recommend is before you try any cleaner, before you do anything, call the manufacturer of the stain. Ask the person that created the stain on the floor to give you the name and the phone number of the manufacturer. Take a picture of the can. Usually there's information there. Call the manufacturer. All manufacturers, just like us, we do tests how to remove our products off of concrete just in case. In some scenarios, we do have some products that cannot be removed once they're installed, but in some cases, we do have ways to remove some of the sealers off the concrete. So call the manufacturer, ask for the technical support, and ask them first before you try anything else. If they say, no, we don't have a solution, most likely they do, because it won't be the first time somebody calls them with that question. They might be able to help you, and you'll have a clean thing. But in the future, I highly recommend to seal your slab underneath your deck. And before you paint your house or stain your house or whatever you're going to do on top of that slab, seal it to protect it from potential permanent stains or damage to the concrete. With that, we have completed pretty much everything that we have in questions today. We're going to go to our website, and I'm just going to walk you really quick in what our website looks like. As you can see, now here's our website, it's SealGreen.com. And we have on one side the shopping by category. You can go there and look at the concrete sealers, cleaners, and all the products that we talked about, even our ice melts in large, small quantities. You can go to concrete sealers, and in concrete sealers, you will find a variety of things. Now, I see this thing is being kind of slow here, and here we are. We have the product shows up, SealGreen Concrete Sealer. You'll see right there. You click on it. Okay, and now you see here that we have the product. There's the name of SealGreen Concrete Sealer with self-defense technology, and then you see the prices. Do you have any questions or you want to ask a question? There's a place to do that. You can see the reviews. We got 5-star reviews pretty much in the product because it's an excellent product, and not just because we manufacture it, but because we do have a lot of response. By the way, this star rating is from customers that actually buy our product. When you buy a product from us, you will eventually receive a opportunity to rate our products, and that goes in here. We have no control on that, so so basically they're pretty honest reviews on our product. You will see here also that because our product is shipped in concentrate form, you will have to mix it with water at your site. So for example, the 1 pint covers 200 square feet once it's mixed with water. Instructions are in the back of the bottle, and also every box has instructions on the application and the mixing instructions of the sealer. And next thing you know, you will have some pictures about it. There is a picture here that shows you how the concrete penetrates, the various things that it prevents, or helps reduce the impact of it in that area. The next line down here, you will see that we have all the documentation that is required for a commercial or industrial application, products safety sheets, product specifications, applications instructions in English and Spanish, and how to measure a project, and an 800 number. So if you have any technical questions, give us a call, and we'll get our technical department to give you a hand with that in that area. And then the next video you see right here is just information about the sealer and what it can do and the benefits of it. Here's another important tab. This tab here is what we call the product videos. And the product videos just shows you how to do the application. This first video that you see is basically just talks about the benefits of the sealer. But then here is the video that you want to see, which is called How to Wash and Seal Your Driveway, and walks you through the whole process of washing, the cleaning, the pressure washer you should use, or maybe use a hose, depends on the age of the concrete, and then how to apply it, and waiting time, and so on and so forth. So with this conclusion here, we have answered all the questions that we have here today in this product. We will be creating more videos to continue answering more of these questions if they're no different than what we already have. Thank you, and have a good day.